Old is the stuff that you had turned in before this one. So
Okay.
the ones that are
So
not
these are
old
the
are
ones I
the
emailed you.
current ones.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so I did a colorblind mode, or I'm going to do a colorblind mode. And the way that I would think of it is just by using shapes. I believe I saw that in another past demo or in another app from last year. So first things first, does anyone have any ideas of how to start, or do you want me to just go ahead and go?
Symbolic constants.
Good, good. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. So I could just make it, since most of my code kind of just relies on the numbers, the index numbers of the colors, we could just make a shape.
If you would run your before version, then we'll see what the starting point is.
Yes, I can do that.
Then you can transform it into the colorblind version.
Good idea. I do want to change this launch screen to a picture of me holding the Mastermind app, but I have to take the actual picture. So we have this, just a pretty basic Mastermind game. That means you got all of them wrong. That sound effect. Can't click up here, no button over here. Let's see what happens if you guess. So the secret code is 3131. Oh wait. So 1, that's what it does. And I haven't done my play again button yet, but I'll get there. So that's what we're starting with. So instead we can have a mode where the beadboard at the bottom is shapes instead of colors. So we can call this shape options. And then I just looked up SF symbols of like certain shapes. So they're going to be strings and star. If anybody has any ideas of a shape that you want me to use, you can call it out. I'm not a good typer.
Is there an octagon?
Let's try.
Or some type of gon?
Looks like it. And we're going to want the same amount of colors, obviously, or same amount of shapes as colors, which is pretty self-explanatory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anybody want to say the last one, or? Okay. Circle. Right.
What's the dot fill?
So that's just what like the shape is called. So when you say like for on SF symbols, when I looked it up, I was just like, what is the SF symbol for a star? And it said, it like gave me an example code, and it just said in string star dot fill. I believe that makes it fill in the space that it's gonna occupy. Okay, so we have that. Now, I mean, what I would think is the next thing to do is make a button on the screen that you can click on. So that, I believe, is in the content view. And I did use one of my links that I put on my increment document, and it was like how to use a button. So I haven't quoted it on my page though, but in the content view, yes. I just added it in my big V stack. Yeah, under my enter button. So, and you can just say, you just call it button, and it has that. And then you can say the text that it's gonna say on the screen. So, colorblind mode, let's see if that shows up. Oh wait, just kidding, I have to finish this. And I'm gonna have it call a function in the view model. So I'll call it, I called it switch mode, even though it doesn't exist yet. It's not gonna like that. It's okay. We'll fix that later. And then to change the button style, or like the view of the button, what I just did is, and I also looked these up, I just looked up on AI, Google, what certain button styles, or like how to make it a rectangle, or how to make it this, and I just played around with it for honestly way too long, but that's okay. And then foreground color. I made that white. And then the corner, because when you make a button, it's kind of like an oval, so I changed the corner radius to 10. Let's see if it'll show. I also believe the padding will look weird. Okay, so there you go. But I don't love the way that looks because they're touching. But I think you can do, so I also learned you can do padding, and you can like specify whether it's the top or the bottom. So you can just say dot bottom, comma 10, and then there, it's not touching anymore. So I think that looks good. It won't do anything yet, but so I had it call the switch mode function from the view model, which doesn't exist yet, but it's about to. Let's go on down to the view model and make a new function. So I believe you could have done this part in the model too, but the first time I did it was just in here. So, I also want, before I do anything in here, this is gonna call a function that's in the model because that's where most of these variables are held, but I made another variable that was just called, it's a Boolean variable and it's just the mode. And if it's true, I can't remember the way I did it, but if one or the other, it's either colorblind or color mode. I can't remember the way I did it. I initially set it to false, so when it's false, then it's just regular, basic color mode, like there's no shapes or anything. And it's initially at false, obviously. Mode equal false. Okay, now back to the view model. Let me make sure I get this right. so I had the models.mode, and this is just gonna switch it every time it's clicked. Every time you click on the button, it's just gonna go back to the original. And something I probably could have done, I didn't do on here, but is I could, once it goes to colorblind mode, I can change the words on the button and make it say color mode or whatever it's not. So, not, so I switch that, and then I'm gonna call a switch display, which is gonna be from the model, and I haven't made it yet, but.